Hey, what's up guys? Professor Breaker is here with another lecture for my lovely viewers, and if you guys don't want to miss out on any other parts of this guide series, because we have covered the Baron lane guide so far. This one is going to be the jungle guide, but then mid lane, ADC and support are also going to come, and if you guys don't want to miss out on that future content, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you guys have enjoyed this video and you guys want to support me so more people might see this one. Then you guys know what to do. So jungle guides, it's gonna be I'm gonna talk you through everything you guys need to know on how you guys can improve, and I've read some comments on how I can maybe improve the video quality. And this time I'm gonna start with the map right here, so it's easier for me to explain to you guys all the pathing you guys need to know, pathing wise, how to gank. So first we're gonna start with jungle types. This is my notes, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm looking there. So we're gonna start with jungle types, then I'm gonna run you through all the pathing tips, jungle clear tips, then ganking tips, smiting tips, objective control, and decision making. I think that will cover most stuff. I've made it to challenger with the jungle as well in solo queue, and we are currently the rank 1 challenger player on the European server. So I think Professor Breaker is kind of popping right now. But anyways, let's get started with the jungle types. We have, I think, 4 major jungle types. Maybe I'm missing something, but we have assassins, we have bruisers, we have tanks, and AP junglers. I don't really count ADCs. Maybe Akshan. Like, you could say Akshan jungle, marksman, yeah. Okay, let's say marksman. Okay, we have 5 jungle types. Like some, I've seen some marksmen, but nah, I don't know. I don't feel it. Like, if you want to call it, you can also call Jason Akshan for marksman, but they're not typical marksmen. But anyways, first, assassins. For assassins, typically Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, Rengar. Maybe Evelyn also assassin, but I'm gonna put her into AP junglers. But so those are the assassins. They are really good at ganking. They have tons of burst damage. Lee Sin, one of the best playmaking junglers. S+ tier, same for Kha'Zix. They are champions that they are really squishy, but their burst damage is crazy. Their ganking potential is crazy, and yeah, the disadvantage is that they are really squishy basically. So high damage, really squishy. If they snowball, they're really strong, and from behind they are kind of weak. So those are assassins. I'm gonna try to make it maybe a little bit quicker because some people have been complaining that the video is too long. I will try to run through, but obviously I will try to give you still the in-depth jungle guide, all the best tips you guys need to know on how to improve and grind yourself up to challenger, or just improve yourself in general. Next one is gonna be bruisers. Bruisers are, for example, just examples, not everyone, Olaf, Jarvan, Wukong, Vi. They are kinda tanky and still deal a lot of damage, so they can be pretty good frontliners in team fights, while having a lot of damage. But usually, if you guys want to build them, you can go for one AD item and then you just go full tank build. So they can be really good frontliners, but usually you prefer to have at least one support or something that is tanky. So you have 2 frontliners. Like the standard competitive comp was, for example, you go bruisers with Stoneplate, so they're super tanky, and then you go for tanky support as well. Then you have poking mage, late game scaling, and poking ADC, late game scaling, and then you basically have 3 tanks top lane. Either you go top lane split pusher or top lane tank, then you have another jungle tank and a tanky support and 2 heavy damage dealers that are poking. Then this team comp is very hard to beat in team fights because you have that strong front line of top lane, jungle, and support, and then they just keep poking. So this is the type of comp where bruisers and tanks can work really well. So next one is gonna be tanks. For example, tanks are Mundo, Ramos. They are super tanky, but they don't really have much damage, to be fair. Ramos has really good ganking potential. Mundo's ganking potential is not that good, but the role of a tank is basically just to be the frontline tank for the teammates. So they deal the damage, you do the crowd control, and you soak up the damage in team fights. So the downside is you're not a super hard carry, and you don't have the damage to carry, and you rely on your teammates to carry the team fights. Since you are not the damage dealer, you're just someone who tanks and hope that the other teammates are gonna deal the most damage. Okay, wait, let me check something. If it... Okay. Next one, AP junglers. For AP junglers, I've put down Evelynn. I think she is the strongest AP jungler right now in solo queue. Also Morgana is a pretty good AP jungler. Then Gragas, I would still say he's viable. Diana as well. But yeah, if you guys need AP damage because you have a Zed mid lane, for example, or Yasuo mid lane, physical damage, ADC obviously, and then a Bruiser top lane, then sometimes you want AP junglers. So the team composition is not fully physical damage, so the opponent can't just go for Ninja Tabi and go for armor stacking. So if you guys want to prevent that, AP junglers are pretty good. If you guys want more mixed damage in your team composition. Now, part 2 of this chapter is gonna be about pathing and jungle clear. It's obviously very different depending on the champion you're playing, but typically they are the main two. I'm going to talk about the main two first, which is the standard clear. So number 1, standard clear, where you start here, you start at red, you get a leash from your bot lane hopefully, or from your Baron lane. Like I always say, as a Baron lane, it's kind of useless because you do a few auto attacks, and if you stay too long, you're going to lose minions and experience. It depends on the champion you're playing, but on Fiora, Riven, Renekton, it's very beneficial to stay instead of leashing. So you start red buff, Raptors, and depending on your leash or depending on your champion, if you have a really quick clear like Olaf or Rengar, you can go for 4 camp, which would be red, Raptors, then Wolves, then blue buff, and then you go for Scuttle. That is the standard clear, but some champions are not that strong, or they get too low if they go for 4 camp, or they are too slow and they won't make it at the first spawn time, which is 125 for the Scuttle. So some champions just go red, Raptors, blue buff, and then they go for the Scuttle. But usually red, Raptors, Wolves, blue, and then Scuttle. And from there you have 2 options. You finish the Scuttle at 130 or something. You can go for gank right here, coming from here if she's too overextended, or you come from behind, bam, gank. Or you go from here into the mid lane from the bush maybe if if the opponent is too overextended. Then you can go for an early gank after Scuttle. Boom here, boom here. Or if you see you can't really gank them, you can either go for level 5, where you just take the Grump after the Scuttle, you get level 5, and then you look for gank in the top lane or in the mid lane. Or you can also go for the enemy Crux right here, where I'm showing them out. Hopefully you guys can see it correctly. Like Scuttle level 4, then you get this, you're level 5, and then you can gank here or you dive. Like if the opponent is overextended, you just flank from behind, free kill. If the opponent is kind of low and he has a big wave, you can just dive from here. Like you come from behind and then boom boom, sayonara, bye bye. So this is the typical standard clear, which most junglers do, especially like if you're Shyvana or Mumu, you want to go for level 5. You can go Crux and then dive top lane, or you go Grump and then you can reset if you want to, get level 5, and then you can position yourself anywhere you want to for the first gank. Or like I said, ganking top lane first. So this is the standard clear. Obviously the standard clear has also different options. Like I said, 3 camp, 4 camp, Grump, early gank after Scuttle, or you go for the Crux. So those are your options for the standard clear. And now the other typical clear is the red clear, where you just start red buff, then you go Raptors, then you go Crux, and then afterwards you can go for Scuttle. You can use the vision after the Raptors, so you can see if they have a ward. If they don't have it, you can gank. Or you start with the red trinket, then you can clear the red the ward here, wait a bit, and then if they don't have vision, you can gank from here, bum, like this, or you can gank from the lane, bum. So this is the typical red clear. You can also, like some champions prefer to start Raptors, or some champions prefer to start Crux. So you can do Raptors, red, Crux, or Crux, red, Raptors, and then go for Scuttle, go for mid gank as well. This is the red clear. And when do you use this? Option one, you are a strong early game champion that wants to compete for Scuttle, because you know the enemy jungler is gonna be at blue buff, or he starts red buff, goes to blue buff, and then he wants to go for this Scuttle, and you wanna fight against him because you're the stronger jungle, because you know the matchup. Then maybe I will talk about matchups as well, honestly. I could talk about matchups as well. But then you can fight here at Scuttle because you're stronger and you start red buff. So you want to compete against him to beat him here, or you want to invade him at blue buff. That's your options. Or you want to avoid him because you assume, like a Lee Sin typically wants to invade you at blue buff. So you just go for the full red clear instead of going to blue buff, because he will activate the ward, he sees you at blue buff, and then he just tries to invade you and kill you. So which champion do this? Jarvan, Lee Sin, maybe Kha'Zix, or Rengar. So this is how you avoid them. But yeah, full red clear into a bot gank or into a mid lane gank, or you just go for the Scuttle. Then you are level 4, and then afterwards you can just gank here or gank here, and then go back to your blue camp and clear this one. There's the red clear. Then full clear. Full clear is for champions that really want at level 5, or they want to avoid an early Scuttle fight because they're way too weak. Like Amumu is very weak in the early game. Shyvana's kind of weak as well. So those champions, sometimes if you feel like, oh my god, this Lee Sin, he will compete for Scuttle, he will invade me, and I don't want to take any risk, and let's just give the Scuttle, because if you die at Scuttle, or you don't have any lane priors as well. Lane priority is also important. I should mention lane priorities as well. That's something you need to know as a jungler as well. But yeah, if you think the lane priors don't exist and you will just get collapsed on a Scuttle, you can just go for full clear, where you go, like I said, you can go red, then full clear this, then you go this, and full clear this. Or you start here at Crux, and then you go full clear. Like Crux, red, Raptors, Wolves, blue, Gromp, for example. Another champion that is really quick at clearing the jungle would be Morgana, who can just go pull the red buff, pull the Raptors, and do both camps at once. And then she goes here and pulls both camps at once, and then she has a fog clear super quickly. And then she can go this, or gank. Or she goes here as well for the full clear. It depends. She can do this double, then she goes there, then she goes here. And then she does a double camp here as well, and that would be a full clear. But yeah, I mean, full clear just means you clear every single camp before you go for any gank or go for a Scuttle, because you just want to avoid any fights. But usually no one does that. You can also start from the other side. There was a time when I also did the other side. Like when I assumed, oh my god, this guy will invade me at blue buff, I would just start at blue buff. Like that could be also an option for Morgana, who just leashes Gromp, leashes blue buff, and then she does double buffs. Does double buff here, goes here. Or she goes double buff into double buff, double camp, and then she goes Scuttle. Like, this is also an option either to avoid the enemy invading you at blue buff, or to just get the early blue buff. But usually you don't need early blue buff, to be honest. Like, junglers usually don't get out of mana, even if they don't have blue buff, to be honest. Because camps gives you also mana back. And then something, if you guys play aggressive junglers, you can go for 2 camp clear into gank or 2 camp clear into invade. How would that look like? On some champions, Lee Sin, for example, you start red buff, you go Raptors, then you use the vision, and then you just go for the invade at blue buff immediately. Or you go for an early gank at mid lane. Like, let's say, your Baron lane is bot lane, so you're starting here. Like, you are red side, that means here is the Baron lane. So you start red buff, you go for Crux, and then go for early gank. Or you go red, then Raptors, and then you go for an early mid lane gank. Those are your early gank options, for example. Or you just gank the bot lane as well. Like, if they have Alistar, Draven, like very aggressive early laning phase, you can go red, Crux, and you can go for an early gank in the bot lane. This is, for example, if you go early jungle champions that are super strong at ganking, like Lee Sin, Jarvan, you can do this. Or like I said, you can go for the invade as well, which would be red raptors, blue for example, or red, blue. Or actually it depends, you can do blue, red, and then go for invade level 3. Start blue, go red, and then invade at blue buff, for example. And some champions also just do double buff into ganking non-stop, like Ezreal jungle, like Doom, pro player, also one of the best junglers. He on Ezreal he just goes red buff into blue, and then he just goes perma gank. This would also be an option. But yeah, I think that's about it for the pathing and jungle clear. I think I've covered most stuff. And now let's focus on ganking tips as a jungler. Actually, I think, yeah, ganking tips I'm gonna show here and then I'm gonna run a gameplay. Ganking tips. Clear vision. Number one thing. You have these tiny thing plants, the vision plants. You can use them to clear wards, like you can use it into this direction. You can clear the wards here. You can use it into this direction, you clear the ward in the river, and you can see if they're on blue buff, or you use it into this direction, then you can clear the tri-bush ward. And also, if you know, for example, they have a ward here, you can also gank from the other side. Hello there. And then, boom boom, sayonara. Or you come from behind, and then you flank, and you gank him there. You can also use red trinket in the early game immediately to clear vision here, for example. If you want to gank the mid lane, you can clear the vision here. If you want to gank the bot lane, you clear the vision here, or it's somewhere here in the river. And same for the top lane. Usually they put it here into the tri-bush, or they put it here in the middle of the river. So either they put it one here, here, or here. That's where typically people like to ward. But usually it's in the tri-bush, here or here. So you come here, you clear the ward, then you go for camp, you run around somewhere, and then you come from behind. They're like, oh, after 30 seconds he's ganking me, I don't have a ward here, and then they are unprepared, for example. That's like vision tips. And vision is also important when you want to clear or contest objectives. Like you want to do dragon, you want to do herald, activate the red trinket, clear all the wards here, clear all the wards, check it out in the pit as well, and then you can go for the herald, then you can go for the dragon as well. Like typically you activate the red trinket, you can check here all the vision, all the vision, all the vision in the river. So the typical spots in the side bushes, in this bush, maybe here, here right at the dragon, and then here in the tri-bush, or here. Typical ward spots. And then you gank from, from the path where it's not warded, or you clear the ward, then you wait a bit, and then you gank, because when you clear, they know, oh, he's nearby, but if you wait a bit, they might get impatient, or they play too aggressive, and then you just collapse on them. And also, ganking tips, like I said, once all the wards are cleared, or once you gank from a side they don't know where you're coming from, you can come from behind, and then just gank them. Or you come from, like, if they're overextended, it doesn't matter, you can come from here. But they're, like, in the middle of the lane, you can just come from behind, boom. From here, same shit. Come from behind, boom. And you can also come from here, boom, or you dive, come from behind and dive him, or you just come here and then dive immediately. It depends on what champion you're playing, like, or what your teammates are playing to set up the gank. Like, if they have a stun, if they have engage, it really depends on what they have. Like, I can't really generalize. Like, you will see the situations where it's easier to just come directly, or you just come from behind. Depends on the vision you have created, like the vision you cleared. And then another option that a lot of people don't do is lane ganking. Like, let's assume everything is warded here and you don't clear it. You can also, if the minion wave is here and you come from out of vision, you run into the bush, then your enemy, your teammate is renekted, he's riven. He just goes in, he stuns him, and then you engage as well. Like, you can come from here in lane and then gank him. A lot of people don't expect that, and lane ganks should be more popular, to be honest, because no one expects that, and a lot of people, like most people, never go for lane ganks. That's why Evelyn's really good, because Evelyn can just ignore every ward here, because she's invisible, and then she can just come from a lane gank, or she just comes from behind, and no one sees her because of her invincibility. Invisible. invisibility. Okay, never mind. So lane ganks, very good. You need to pay attention to the wave though, because the wave will give vision. So typically if you come here, you need to wait for the wave to be maybe here, or maybe slightly here, and then you move in here. Then you wait here for the opponents to play too aggressive. They go a step forward, you gank. Bye bye, sayonara. And then you come from the bush, no one expected, and there you get the kills. And another thing is counter ganking. Counter ganking. Wow. This is so important on some champions that are not good at setting up their own ganks and that are better at counter ganking. For example, Shyvana is very good at counter ganking because let's say you're in the bush right here. You expect the Lee Sin to gank. Lee Sin is coming from here trying to gank, or coming from the lane trying to gank. And then he engages in, they all engage in, and then you use the Shyvana ultimate right on top of them and you win the gank. Like, counter ganks are so important and very good. And how do you counter gank in general? It's all about anticipating the enemy jungler's pathing. What champion are they playing? Where are they gonna gank? What's their clear path? Let's say you are against Lee Sin. What do Lee Sins usually love to do? They clear red, then they go for scuttle, or they go for an invade, or they go for red clear and then early gank, or they go level 2 gank. So depending on the champion, or depending on his pathing, you could, for example, like he wants to gank top lane, you actually in this case it doesn't work. Like, it depends. Like, let's say I'm a Jarvan, I go red, blue instead, because I know he will go for an early red top gank, then go red, blue, and then I sit here in the lane, then I see Lee Sin is ganking, and then I counter gank, or I'm sitting here, and then Lee Sin engages, and then I'm counter ganking. That's an example. Like, you're always, sometimes you need to react, and sometimes reacting is better than being proactive. Like, some people prefer to be proactive ganker, but sometimes it's better to be a reactive ganker, because the enemy jungler doesn't expect he commits too hard, and then you come in, and then you win the 2 versus 2, for example, or you just clean them up. Like, counter ganking can be really beneficial, depending on the champion you're playing, or depending on the champion you are playing against in the jungle. So that's why the full red clear is also very good, because a lot of junglers do the standard clear, where they go red, Raptors, blue, and then they try to go for a gank in the mid lane or in the bot lane. So if you know that, you can sit here in the bush, assuming there's no ward, or you sit here in the lane, assuming, like, counter ganking, I always sit in the lane bush. So I know, okay, they do red, Raptors, blue, they go for scuttle. And then they either go for mid lane gank, or they keep farming, or they go for bot lane gank. Most people go for very basic bot lane gank then. And then if you sit here, you cleared your red buff, the red side completely, you sit here, then come here, they will try to gank from behind, or they're gonna try to engage from here directly. And then you're sitting here, you're ready to rumble, they engage, they use all their spells, and then you jump in, and then you're countering them, immediately jumping onto them. This is a way, like, I'm just giving you an example for the bot lane, but it also applies for the mid lane or for the top lane, depending on. You need to be a 5-bet when you're jungling, assuming or predicting what the enemy jungler is planning. Where is he gonna path? What pathing is he gonna do? Is he gonna invade you? Is he gonna go for an early jungle clear? Early jungle clear into gank? Is he gonna go for full clear, or is he gonna go for standard clear and then into a gank? You always have to predict what he's gonna do, and it comes down, or it boils down to experience, knowing what champion likes to do which jungle clear path thing. So if you play a lot of jungle, and you know all of the champions and what they prefer to go for jungle clear, then you can anticipation, very important, anticipate where they're gonna gank and then countering it. I think that's one of the key skills that high elo junglers have. They anticipate what the enemy jungler is gonna do, so they either counter it or they play around the other side. And then lane priority is also very important to consider. You need, as a jungler, you also need to know about the lane priors in your lane. If you have a Fiora here, she's gonna win the lane. Probably you can go for an early gank. So in this case, you go red, Raptors, blue, scuttle, and then you gank early. Or let's say the Baron is in the bot lane. You go red, Raptors, and then you gank him immediately, because you know it's Fiora, it's Riven, it's Renekton. They are very strong early game, they're gonna harass the opponent, and then you can go for very early, quickly first blood. That's about predicting the jungle clear path thing and what you have to do. And the lane priorities. Like knowing the matchups of every lane, which lane is gonna win, and which lane you can play around, or which lane you should avoid. Let's say this lane is losing, like your laner is losing because the enemy is Fiora, then it's probably like they will have lane prio. And let's say this lane is also losing, they will have lane prio. Then maybe you should not path towards this side, because if you go for the scuttle, even though you're stronger, if they have lane prios and they will come and collapse on you at scuttle, then it might get tricky. Even though you have Lee Sin, even though you're Lee Sin and the enemy is weaker, if the laners have prio, you might be in trouble because they will just collapse on you while you are at jungle. So you always have to consider the lane priors in each lane, knowing where to path and which side you should avoid. Or if all are losing, maybe just go for full clear. Or you just try to avoid the enemy jungler, knowing, okay, he's gonna finish here, then I'm gonna go there. If he goes there, I'm gonna go the other side. That's also the case. You put a ward here, you know he's gonna come, then you see, you would usually go this way, but you see, okay, I have a ward here, he's probably gonna go for the scuttle, then you go for the other camp, or for the other scuttle. That's why lane priority is also very important. Maybe I'm gonna put a point just lane priority, because that's also very important to consider lane priority. Now I can give you some smiting tips. Actually, let's hop into the gameplay. I'm just gonna let the gameplay run now. Okay. Since we already covered most stuff about the pathing and ganking tips, I'm just gonna let gameplay run on my Smurf account. Maybe I'm gonna run you through and give you my in-depth explanation on what I'm doing. And so it's like learning by doing. Like you can see what I'm applying. So, smiting tips. You can combine your abilities with your smite. That's very simple. As Kha'Zix, you have the isolation damage on the first ability. So let's assume your smite is 900. The Baron is the Baron gets low. You can combine your smite, which does, I mean, you can combine your ability with your smite, so you can smite at a higher point. So let's say your smite is 900 and your ability does 400 damage to Baron. So at 1.3k, or probably 1.2.5, so 1250, you're gonna use your ability and smite at the same time, so you can secure the objective much more easier when you combine those two. So you can burst it quickly, and then it's harder for the enemy to steal the objective. And then let's get started with objective control as well. So what's gonna be important objective control wise as a jungler? It's basically early game. Scuttle control can be pretty important to get some vision. Scuttle is going to give you movement speed as well in that area, so you can rotate quicker. So scuttle control can be really important, but you always have to consider your lane priors, and depending on your matchup, whether or not you can contest against the enemy champion. Then later on in the stages, definitely early mid game, it's going to be all about the dragons and herald and turret control. Then also decision making in this point is really important, like I'm gonna run you through. In some cases, you have to consider, is it worth fighting for the dragon? Because if your team comp is too weak early game, maybe you should not go for the dragon and you should avoid the dragon team fight. Even though it's a very important dragon like Inferno or Cloud Dragon. Rating for dragons, in my opinion, Inferno, then Cloud, then the rest don't matter. Like, Inferno and Cloud are very important depending on your team comp. So those are the objectives you want to fight for, usually. But you always have to consider your team comp, whether or not you're strong enough to fight. And if one of your teammates dies, probably you shouldn't fight them 4 versus 3. And then you also have to consider whether or not your top laner is gonna come, or the enemy top laner is gonna come. Like, you always have to consider so many things. And then sometimes it's better to just trade, like going, instead of dragon, you just go for the herald instead. Because getting herald and the first turret is 1k gold into your pocket. If you have mastermind, it's even more, like 1.2k or something. So getting those objectives and trading the Inferno Dragon, which gives you 100 gold for every teammate and the buff, but getting Herald gives you the ability to take the first turret. First turret gold is 250 for every teammate, so that's a lot of gold. Okay, he already won this, so I don't need to gank. What else? Yeah, dragons, heralds, and turret is very important for jungler to manage in the early game. So, decision making wise, can I fight the dragon? Should I trade for herald? Is it better to gank the top lane? What's my win con? Which lane is stronger? Which lane should I snowball? It really boils down to every game, decision making wise. Okay, should I play around the Fiora, snowball her lane, gank top lane, get the first turret, then she can snowball more easily, she can roam much more easily. It's really hard to generalize, because it really depends on each scenario which lane you should play for. And then you should also consider, should I play around the losing side? If my teammate is dying 2 times, should I gank him? Is it worth ganking him? Can we even win if I gank him? Or should I play around the other side that is winning? That's also decision making, where you have to really consider what you need to do. But yeah, turrets, dragons, herald in the early game, and then later on Baron buff and Elder. Elder is very important, and you should always fight for Elder no matter what. You can lose 3 dragons, it doesn't matter too much, but if you lose Elder, the game is gonna be insanely hard. So Elder, very, very, very important. You should always fight for. Same for Baron buff. Baron buff is so good for snowballing, because you empower all the minions, you get AD AP, and then you can secure more turrets, and more turrets means more global gold in general. And decision making wise, I already talked about it. I think I've covered most stuff already. Like, I think I've covered most stuff. Did I miss something? Maybe I should just focus on the gameplay now, so I can run you through everything. Did I miss something? I mean, I tried to hold it, I tried to keep the guide really quickly. Maybe I'm just gonna focus on the commentary, where I'm just gonna explain every thought process as a jungler on why I'm doing what. Learning by doing, guys. I think I've covered everything already for jungling. So, jungle types, pathing jungle clear, ganking tips, smiting tips, objective control, decision making, like I said. The right balance between ganking a lot, farming a lot, or taking objectives. Like, some junglers are better at just focusing on farming, like Jax, or trading, where you have to consider, do I go for Herald, do I go for the Dragon? What team comp is better? Are we a team comp that is teamfight orientated, like we have Malphite, we have Galio, we have Cannon, then maybe just go for the Dragon team fight because you want to force the Dragon team fight? Or are you like split pushers, you're squishy, you're a pick off comp, then maybe snowball the Baron lane because you have a Fiora, or you have a Camille, or you have a Jax, so you can get that guy ahead, and then you can avoid the Dragon team fight, because typically if your team fight comp is weaker, then maybe avoid that Dragon team fight. So in this game I went, wait, let me see the team comp again. Tab. They have Twisted Fate, Riven, Saya, and it's Ocean Dragon. Yeah, Ocean Dragon is not that important. Like, getting the Herald is gonna give me so much gold. I'm already at 3.7k, and he has at 3k. And with that Herald, I can secure the first turret gold, which is gonna be 250 for every single member of the team. So I think by this point, we already covered everything. So I'm just gonna focus on the gameplay. If you guys don't want to listen anymore, then feel free to head out, but I'm gonna give you an... I think this gameplay is gonna be pretty interesting because it's very close and intense. So I'm gonna try to give you my tips and explain the decision making in this gameplay. Oh, they're gonna dive here, okay. I'm just gonna back out. Oh no no. Can we escape? That's the question. Trying to run away! Bye bye! Sayonara! Nunu! Galio gets the kill onto Lux, which is pretty good. Maybe let's talk about the respawn times. Oh, I don't even know the respawn times because they changed it. They changed the respawn times, but if you start red buff, it's gonna spawn, like you do it at 20, you finish at 25, it spawns at 3 or 5 again. So if you start red buff, you finish it at like, I don't know, 25, it's gonna respawn at like 300 or 305. That's the typical first major buff respawn time. I don't know the dude, I can't do math. I can't be bothered to do the math right now. Yikes. It's bad, man. Someone can write the respawn time of the camps and the and of the buffs. Oh no, she's chasing me. Let's run away. I'm gonna reset up the Herald. Usually it depends, like if they are still on Dragon and you already finished the Herald, you can for example use the Herald in the mid lane as well to secure the first mid turret. Because if they take too long and your teammates are poking them down with Dragon, you can get Herald, use it in the mid lane, get the mid turret, or while they're fighting, the Herald is gonna take it and then you can try to still contest the Dragon, for example. Or you just go from Herald and try to gank top lane and then you take the first turret. That would be also another option. When you have Herald. Like, how do you use the Herald? Typically to secure, number one goal, secure the first turret, and then either go for the top lane if you have a split pusher, and if not, then just try to use it in the mid lane to secure the mid turret, because getting the mid turret is very important to open up the map, easier for your mid laner to roam, better for the map pressure where you can go for invades much more easier or set up deep wards. And if you have the Herald, it also, you don't have to use it immediately because it's kind of useful to have the quicker backport time. I really like that, to be honest. Let's see if I can flank from here. I don't have ultimate. Ooh, someone's really low there. We get 1 kill, we have to reset, we get 2 kills. And now I'm just gonna jump out again. We have 2 kills, I'm kind of low, we don't have a wave yet. So I'm just gonna reset here. Darius at the same time is gonna get the first turret. Actually, I think it's because 2 people are dead and the wave is coming that I'm using in mid lane right now. Let's see if we can kill her. She's low. Gonna snipe her. Gonna jump back in. Ooh, I'm so low. No! No! She's super low. She dies. And the mid Herald is gonna come. So Herald is probably gonna take the turret here. It does 1.7k. No, but not quite. Not quite yet. Oh, he's harassing me. No. He cancelled my backport, and now they might be able to go for Cloud Dragon. Okay, Galio ultimate wasted. They might go for the Cloud Dragon right now, so I'm pinging, but Nunu is rushing it. Nunu's rushing it. Oh no. Cloud Dragon pretty important. 4k, let's see if we can steal it. Against Nunu will be hard, honestly. I stole it, let's go! Like, this gameplay is so old, I don't even remember if I stole it. Let's go, we stole it! S1 Smite, very good to steal objectives as Kha'Zix. And, oh yeah, when is it worth to kamikaze for the objective? If it's Elder and Baron, and if you still have Flash to get out. Like, I knew I still have Flash, so I can jump in as Kha'Zix, try to smite, and then I can flash out. But if you want to kamikaze, when is it worth? For Elder, for Baron, and maybe for Cloud and Inferno Dragon. For Ocean and Mountain Dragon, you should never kamikaze if you don't have any escape tools to make it out alive. So since I knew I had Flash, I just tried to steal it and it worked out. This gameplay is right before the season ended, by the way, on my Smurf account. Season 3 gameplay. Nice. Oh, very low. Darius gets the double kill. Darius is getting caught under turret. Let's see if he's gonna die. Oh, I'm diving in. Oh, the Psy ultimate. Yeah, that was really bad because I tried to one-shot her. But she used the Saya ultimate to dodge it, and then she used the second ability and I just get killed. So very well played by the Saya, and getting this shutdown is pretty big for her, so definitely a pretty heavy mistake by us. She got quad kill and she has 10k gold now. I think I will skip through now, since I'm already winning. I mean, already finished the majority of tips. I guess I go for blue buff now. Okay, next one. Yeah, I think I will just skip through now. Like, only the important stuff. Let's see. Like, the key thing we need to do now is secure this mid turret, which is kind of low, and then also this one. Because it will open up the map, like I said. You can set up wards here, set up wards here. And it's really hard to dive, because the mid turret, it's really close together compared to the top lane, where it's much easier to dive and invade from this side. And then you can always shop it, and then you can roam or rotate and try to gank or invade. So getting this mid turret is very important to open up the map. So this is the #1 goal to do right now. They're diving, they secure the mid turret. This is very good. And then go for the red buff. I mean, basically we need to catch people as the Kazakhs. Let's see. Oh, he's jumping in. He might die here. And we get that kill. Let's go. So at this point of the game, in the mid game, usually, depending on what team comp you're playing, you want to win the team fights, you want to catch people, you want to collapse on people, maybe in the side lanes that are split pushing. And if you can catch people beforehand, then it's very easy to just start the objective and bait them in, lure them into the team fight, lure them into the objective, because they know, okay, we killed someone, we can start the Baron. Let's see. And then when they come, you can just collapse on them. Actually, Saya is so fat. If they get the Saya, we might be able to go for Baron right here. I think we might be able to go for Baron, no? Yeah, I'm writing TP in because I'm kind of low, so I'm just gonna buy teleport so we can start it. Start it! No! Start it! Don't chase! Just start it! Come on, guys. Because I know Nunu is dead and they still have death timers. So that's why I know we can just start it quickly and secure it. Remember S1 into smite combo. Okay, it's no, allow no. But literally, enemy jungler is dead. When the enemy jungler is dead, it's very easy for you guys to start it. And they also, 2 other people were dead, so that's why only 2 people alive. Very easy to go for it. And sometimes, if you're desperate and the enemy jungler is dead, you can also try to coin flip it. But remember, depending on your team comp, if you are poking composition, you should never start the objective yourself. Let the opponent start it, poke them down, and then collapse on them. But if you're engaged comp, you can lure them in, and then you just go for it. Like, you lure them into the objective because they need to contest it, otherwise you get a free Baron, you get a free Elder. Boom, nice, good team fight. We can get tier 3 or not. Oh, Caitlyn is not here, she's bot lane. We don't have a wave either. Riven split pushing right now. See right now, catching people. Whoop. Just poking him down a bit. Almost did 50% to him. Okay, never mind, not quite 50. Okay, now we are almost late game. What's important? Catch people, catch people, trap, set up deep visions, get the remaining turrets. Like if you set up deep visions, maybe you can set up a trap here, catch people, and if you trap people and you have a wave, you can get remaining turrets, or you can get a good team fight because you caught someone, and then if the buffs are up, you can also go for Baron or Elder, and then with Baron and Elder you should be able to secure the game by getting the remaining turrets. That's like late game job as a jungler. Set up, I mean, it's not necessarily your job to set up the deep wards, but you can try to invade, try to counter gank, try to steal stuff in the enemy jungle. Also, oh, I forgot to, counter jungling can be where you go for the invade and steal enemy camps as well. Like if you go for enemy camps and you steal them, you deny them their own gold and you get extra gold on top of that. So they lose experience and gold, and you get more gold and experience. So counter ganking can be very beneficial if you are strong or if you are ahead. So you always should try to steal camps then. True, I forgot the point counter ganking. I mean counter jungling. Counter jungling. It can be very beneficial for you guys. Oh no! I should have used Sonya's. I didn't expect the Lux ultimate to kill me like that. So I definitely should have used Sonya's there. Ooh, kill him! Nice. And now Baron buff is up. I'm just pinging back, like, if she dies, it's gonna be a big problem, so better just play it safe. Oh no, run, see? That's what I mean with just having to backport safely and get out. And now she had to burn her flash already. Because she didn't want to back. So next teamfight she won't have her flash anymore, which might be really, really important. So now late game, Baron and Elder control gonna be very important. I would say Elder is always better because Elder is a permanent buff, while Baron only lasts, I don't know how long it lasts, 2 minutes. Gonna give a red buff to her because she's fat, and late game ADC. And now we need to clear all the vision here. Maybe you can set up an ambush. They have the Twisted Fate ultimate, and now Darius disconnected. Darius disconnected. We are playing 4 vs 5 now, and Elder's up. So we need to kite this team fight, because we can't fight 5 vs 4. We need to keep poking and wait for Darius to come back, otherwise we can't contest this. I actually voted yes because I want Darius to be a meat shield at least. Playing 4 vs 5 now, using Kha'Zix's second ability as poking. So we can fight it, but we need to stall it at least. We need to stall as long as possible for Darius to come back. That's the main goal right now. Twisted Fate split pushing, so I will try to clear the wave. Using second ability onto the bush to check if someone is in that bush. They don't know Darius is backward yet, so that's kind of good. Now he's reconnecting. Nice. Wait. Oh, Galio died already. Oh no, no. Galio's died already. Then engaging. Let's see. Poking. Jumping in. Okay, Sai ultimate is out. Keep poking. And now I have a jump. I go in. Actually, that was a bad jump. Honestly, I shouldn't have jumped like that. Yeah, that was bad. But Darius is coming. Yeah, Darius. I'm like, yeah, he's coming back. Yes, Darius, he's back. Let's go. He's here. Hey, carry us. Nice, they get 4. They get 4 and now they can go for Elder. I should have jumped. That was a pretty bad jump. Like, I thought I would one-shot someone and then can jump out with the isolation, but that was actually a bad jump for me. Like, I should have jumped in like that. And now everyone's dead and they can secure the Elder. Let's go. But I mean, it was a 4 vs 5 situation, so kinda tricky how to play it out. Just stalling for Darius to come back. But they would have forced it because Galio got caught, Darius is dead, So only 3 people versus 5 people at Elder. But now with that Elder, it's a huge buff and we can just go for Baron. I'm just gonna clear the bot wave and then we can go for Baron. Okay, he dies. Let's go. I'm just gonna... Let's YOLO it. Coin flip. Coin flip, baby. Like, what you wanna do here is you lure them in for the Baron and then you turn on them. Because going for this one, even though Nunu's alive is kind of risky, because you can steal it, so just lure them into it and then try to fight and turn it. Okay, let's go. I dodged the second ability of Saya, but I still can't kill her. Batman. Yeah, I think we can just go for Baron. Yeah, let's just go for Baron. Nunu is dead and now we can secure it safely. You can end to Baron. Good call. Yes, yes, accurate. Oh, he's teleporting him. I'm getting low. Oh no, I'm getting low. I need 2 Zhonya's before I die here. Caitlyn. Smite early. I need to smite early because otherwise I would have died. I need that healing. And smite gives you healing, by the way. Also very important. If you smite any objectives, you get some healing. So in some situations you can just smite a camp or smite a buff. And then you can get some healing to survive. Also very important. I mean, at this point we have Baron buff, we have Elder, so we can just group 5 men and catch people. Look at the damage. So we forced the ultimate. Yeah, I'm not gonna catch her. We can just go mid now. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know why Darius just went in there, honestly. Way too deep. Caitlyn, don't get caught. No. No, Caitlyn. Oh, Galio ultimate. Nice. Ignite. He's gonna kill him. Okay, Jenna healing. Let's go. Top wave. Or can we end, actually? I think top wave is the call. Oh, he's going in. I don't know why he just jumped like that. He went in and we should be able to kill him now. Yep, we get that kill. I'm just jumping in. We get another kill. I still have Guardian Angel. Wait, do I have Guardian Angel? I don't have Guardian Angel. Why am I doing this? I don't have Guardian Angel. That was way too risky. Oh no, I'm gonna die here. Shield. Nice. Thank you for the shield. Oh! Oh, I get sniped by Lux again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can they end? Caitlyn, hit the Nexus! The Nexus! Hit the Nexus! Hit the Nexus! Hit the Nexus! 500! Just hit the Nexus! No! No! Just hit the Nexus! Okay, let's just go forward. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, at this point it doesn't matter. We're just gonna enter. Oh, we're gonna fight for the Baron again. I think we shouldn't fight for Baron. Because we already have Elder and 3 inhibitors down. So it's not worth fighting and coin flipping for Baron. Yeah, I'm writing don't flip go Nexus. Like, at this point it doesn't make sense to go for Baron because we don't need it. Like, if they get Baron, like if they steal it, miracle, like if they have a miracle steal, they might win. But if we just go this way and just brute force under the turret or under the Nexus, we just win. Like, we have Elder, we have 3 turrets down. And now the minions in the... Yeah, the minions just killed it. But yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the guide. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe leave some feedback if you guys enjoyed it. And then obviously subscribe, activate notifications, leave a like if you guys liked it. And I see you next time for part 3. Mid guide part 3. And bye bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.